This week's featured car is brought to you by McGuire's.
Hi, I'm Rob, and this is my wife Robin's 56 Chevy Sport Coupe. Yeah, this car was imported 97 and completely rebuilt from the ground up, ex-USA. It had been a project somebody had started in America and got halfway through it and didn't really achieve much, and most of the stuff was just jammed in the car and everything they did had to be reworked. So at this point I decided to introduce new componentry right through the whole car. So it's got a late model tune port injected Chevy engine, 700R trans and a heavy duty Chevrolet diff, disc brakes, power steering, air conditioning, digital dash, all the modern sort of concessions that you'd expect in a late model car. Primarily built this car for my wife, so it's not a real race car, but it certainly gets the job done.
Ooh, maybe we shouldn't be showing her this. The 56 is a product of a 2.5-year body-off rebuild, retro tech at its finest, and it's seen its fair share of street miles, including a couple of South Island adventures.
Without changing any exterior sort of appointments, you can actually build yourself a fresh, modern car, you know, keeping the old look of the whole vehicle, because they have got some very classic appointments, these 50s cars, and it's not much you can do to really improve that, if you know what I mean. So you pretty well run with everything you're looking at on the outside, but just change everything internally. The motor is a 350 or 5.7 Chevrolet motor, which is used in Corvette or IROC Z Camaro type situations. It's got a 700R4 trans, which is like your 4-stage auto, and a lock-up torque converter, which is another good feature of the setup. The engine itself's had some work done, head work, and an improved camshaft, a Street Performance cam. The computer has been tricked to enhance a bit more horsepower out of the car. The economy would be equivalent to, say, a Commodore, Club Sport, something like that.
And being a younger member of the small block Chev family, the motor looks right at home in there. It's all very low maintenance, there's no carbs to keep fiddling with, but that's just given Rob more time to scheme. A NOS system, testament to that.
Yeah, well, you throw a few more things on as time goes on, and basically a street machine or a hot rod's never really finished. You're always sort of looking out there to see what else you can add to it, so why not? Bought a basic conversion kit from one of the swap meets in America, which involved springs, drop spindles, shock absorbers, power steering conversion, the whole bit, which is a direct swap straight in, so that was pretty straightforward. The braking has now gone to disc brakes and boosted, so that sort of, obviously it goes hand in hand with increasing horsepower. You have to improve the brakes. Obviously then you have to improve the handling, so you've really got to do the whole package. You can't just get horsepower and nothing else, you know, you've got to sort of try and get the whole car drivable.
The interior continues with the old but new theme. The trim now features pleated leather, while the original gauges have been binned for a digital unit. A CD stacker is also cleverly integrated.
Obviously, you try to have a bit of a vision in your mind of what the finished article is going to look like, and as you're building these cars, if you can sort of keep focusing on that and try and choose the right componentry from, say, right from the beginning, you're not sort of spending extra money on buying stuff and then changing your mind. So if you can sort of come up with a theme or a build sort of plan and stick to it, that's probably the way to go if you can. Probably at this point I'd like to thank my family for accepting my sort of hobby and putting up with it. I hope they get some sort of joy out of it. In this case I sort of built the car for the wife, so it's sort of her car technically. But I've been building cars probably ever since I left school and been involved deeply all the way through, so obviously I'm lucky I've got some people that sort of want to run with my sort of hobby.